Yeah, Richie, they've talked a lot today about how the wide receiver room is kind of ready to take the next step and be a bigger part of the offense this year. How do you feel as a member of the room, you and the guys around you are ready to make those leaps and be a bigger part?
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of dogs in the room. There's some new guys coming in, guys like Caleb Barnett. I've never seen somebody as fast and quick as he is. There's going to be a lot of dispersion of the ball. You're going to see a lot of different guys touch the ball this season. And as since the young guys have gotten here, being a mentor for them has been one of the biggest things that the older guys in the room, such as myself, Junior, Martell, T5, Tristan Brown, we've taken a lot of pride in that, and it's important to us to see them succeed on the field because it is a reflection of the elders in the room, if you will.
You really felt like emerged kind of halfway through last season in terms of pass catching. The Kentucky game comes to mind, where I think you had a 2-minute drill where you caught one up the middle and then the touchdown. How much confidence did that game specifically give you? Not that you didn't before that, but just you can go out there and do something.
Yeah, for me it was like, man, you can do this, and not only that, but getting on the same page as Diego was really important. And that game kind of was a solidifying moment for the both of us. And I've said this before, but at the end of the day, those moments for me, it's all about the other 10 guys on the field doing what they're doing and doing their job, because it gives Diego and myself the ability to make plays with each other.
Clark's talked a lot about wide receiver blocking this offseason. As somebody who kind of made your name off that, does that kind of fire you up?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I love to hear that from him, and to hear that from anybody, and to be known as the room that, like, one of the best rooms in the country at perimeter blocking, it means a lot to us, because that's the number one thing, be physical, be a good perimeter blocker, and at the end of the day, that's what's going to bust a bunch of big runs for us, explosive plays.
What is Diego Pavia like in the field, or in the huddle, on the field? Is he really like what we see, on TV and stuff?
He's the ultimate competitor, and that's what everybody loves about him. There's nobody you'd rather put at the helm than Diego, because you know that all he wants to do, all he cares about is winning, and you can put a lot of trust in a guy like that. And so whatever you see on the media, or you only see a glimpse of it all, but I can assure you one thing: he's the ultimate competitor, and I know that that's been portrayed really well, and I can attest to that.
You looking forward to seeing what happens with him and this offense in a second season with him as the starting quarterback?
Yes, we've built a ton of chemistry all across the board, from offensive line, making their reads with the quarterback, the running backs making their reads with the quarterback, the wide receivers making their reads with the quarterback. It means a lot to have a second season and a whole nother offseason with the entire quarterback room as a whole, and it's really important to build that chemistry throughout that offseason.
Maybe along those lines, like there's been a lot of talk today and just referencing outside the building about expectations for Vanderbilt and whatever, and how last year was last year, but whatever. And you guys use it as a building point, but that's the base, and we're going up from here. How galvanizing is that for you guys this year?
Yeah, we really don't care about the externals, and a lot of people said 7-6. Oh, that's a great season for Vanderbilt, but at the end of the day, that, as you said, it was a stepping stone, but it was not the standard. We have a national championship to win, and while we won the Birmingham Bowl last year, nobody wants to be going back to Birmingham to win that game. We want to be, playing in February, winning those games.
What were going into last season? What were the motivating factors for the chip on your shoulder, and how does that compare to the factors coming into this season?
That's a good question. There was a lot of healthy pressure inside the building. We brought in a lot of new guys. There was a lot of competition. And so when you were able to develop that chip on your shoulder as an individual, it kind of bleeds off onto the rest of the team. And so when you got younger guys coming in, kind of trying to take your spot, you're building a lot of competition within rooms and across the team. It's really important that you're taking that pressure the right way. And so internally, that's how we were handling it. It was like, hey, I'm not losing my job to this guy. I love him to death. I'm going to help him, but I'm not losing my job to that guy. So we're going to put our best foot forward. And as one guy does that, it bleeds to the next guy. It's a chain reaction, and it's really important that you see that here.
Coach Beck mentioned you as someone who's going to go until his legs fall off. What kind of impact do you think that has on the younger guys in the room, and what kind of example do you hope to set through that mentality?
Well, I hope to be a leader by example in that regard. At the end of the day, if you want to get on the field, you got to be the guy willing to take the most reps and take advantage of every opportunity that you get. And if you can't go for very long, you're not going to be able to get those opportunities when other people are tired. And I just hope that the younger guys, and really everybody in general, can take away that that's your route to the field and making plays in big games.
Saw you Saturday in the scrimmage late kind of working with the receivers and almost sort of putting them in position and giving them some pointers. Couldn't help but think about a coaching future.
I have such a problem right now because I promise you, I think about it every day, morning and night. I feel like I got to do it. I'm not really sure yet. We're going to see, how the football route goes playing-wise, and then after that, a lot of people say I'm going to go into finance for about 2 years, and I'm going to have to scratch my itch and come back, coach some football. And honestly, I don't even think I'll make it 2 years, but we'll see.
With the comment about like running till your legs fall off, things along those lines, does a lot of that come from like where your career started and kind of having to earn everything here?
Yeah, I love talking about this because I want, I walked on here originally, and the walk-on mentality's led me to any success that I've ever had. I mean, there's been people along the way who have given me that walk-on mentality. Like, my dad has instilled that in me from day one, and I love him to death. My mom as well. It means the world to me. Obviously, that you even asked that question because it's important. It's my identity, and yeah.
You said we had a national championship to win. Where does that belief come from? Is it a certain person in the locker room? Is it all of you? Where does it come from?
It's internal, and it starts with Coach Lee. He's instilled that in us from day one of Team 5 being together. And then you have leaders throughout the team, guys like Diego, guys like Eli, Cole Spence. It's all across the board. There's a ton of good leaders on this team. And it is a chain reaction. I've talked about that. When you have one guy in the room believing in the right thing, it bleeds across the board.
I don't want you to have to feel like president of college football here, but like you clearly value walk-ons a lot. It feels like that's kind of going away. Just how sad is that to you?
It's sad. At the end of the day, if walk-ons were to go away fully, all that would matter to me is that everybody carries that grit and passion that a walk-on would. And for the rest of my life, like, if I don't go into coaching and I end up owning my own business, I'm hiring walk-ons only. I'll tell you that. It means those guys, there are a ton on this team who have contributed in big games and done really good stuff for us. Some of my best friends too. Being a walk-on and having that mentality. It's everything.